I think the battery in my gimbal is dying. Yep, battery's dying.
Well, and that about sets the tone for my entire day yesterday.
The hell am I thinking? 10 minutes ago, I was in my PJs, happily sipping my morning coffee. And like a dumbass, I looked out the window at the snow, which was coming down so heavily and so quickly that it wasn't appearing to me as single snowflakes. I was seeing white streaks coming down, and to my naked eye, it looked like a long exposure photograph. And I was like, hey, that would make a great photograph. I should probably head out into the woods right behind my house. So here I am, fully dressed, long before I ever intended to be. With my camera bag packed, planning long exposure daytime photographs against a white backdrop. You know, they say 90% of photography is problem solving, and I'm just creating all sorts of problems for myself. But as I said before, you'll never improve your photography, and you'll never get that next great portfolio shot if you don't get up off the couch. And of course, my gloves, my brand new gloves, have gone missing. I am 100% certain that there is a child responsible for that. I do, however, have my riding gloves that I could wear, my winter riding gauntlets. They're meant to keep my hands warm in freezing temperatures at 65 miles an hour. But there's like no fine motor skill ability inside those gloves, which means I'm going to have to take them off once I get out there anyway. It's not that I don't like snow. I hate being cold. All right, found my gloves. I was correct. They were ensconced within a child's room with the tags still on them. All right. All right. Let's go fuck this day in the mouth. Ugh. Gross. Hate snow. Oh, it's already unlocked. That's never a good sign. I think I'm going to have to dip down into that draw over there. And of course, the snow has let up. So what's going to happen is I'm going to find my composition and end up standing around twiddling my thumbs for another hour waiting for the snow to pick up again. This is finding a composition is actually proving to be a little harder than I anticipated. But on the upside, the snow is starting to pick up. I've been walking for a good 20 minutes, so I am long off of my own property. I've got a decent piece of property here, but it's less than 10 acres. Well, it looks good down this way. What do you think? Hi, remember me? Come on back up here. There you go. At this point, I'm getting pretty discouraged. I'm cold, which I don't like. I haven't found a single composition that I like, and I'm 90 minutes in. I'm starting to think about the product rather than the process, and my process is falling apart. I don't think I like this. I think maybe we need to go up there. Yep. There's a lot of interesting deadfall right up there at the top of this hill. Yeah, I think we're going to head up there. All right. Up the hill. The thing is, when you get these hills, don't look as steep as they are until you're actually on them. I've already taken one tumble. Let's see if we can avoid a second. I think my next purchase this winter is going to be a decent set of boots, because these motorcycle boots of mine, they ain't liking the snow and ice. And a thought just occurred to me. Right in my own backyard, I have an old cabin and an old wood fence that will probably look really nice with that long exposure snow that I was talking about. We've almost made it to the top of this hill. What really sucks is that I've climbed and descended 3 different hills on my way out here, and I'm going to have to climb and descend 3 different hills to get back. Listen to me, bitch. All right. Well, let's have a look and see what this looks like. Yeah, I'm back. I can see the camera lost sight of me. Hello. There I am. And now the camera has me. All right, so I actually found a pretty good spot. Way the fuck out there. Probably, come on down here, come on down here. About 300 yards that way. And it's not in any of these hills or draws that I've been walking through. It is just wide open. Not even wide open. It's pretty flat, full of trees, and the composition I found is long lens. It's not even a wide angle typical landscape type. It's 105 millimeters. But that compression really makes it a low contrast scene, which is really kind of counter to what I typically do in a portrait studio. So, but let's go have a look at it. All right. So here's our scene, and it's just straight out that way. This tree is not included in the shot, and neither is this one over here. I felt they were too distracting. But come on, give me a live shot. There we are. See, so low contrast, which is really not what I typically shoot. But I like it. Now, we just got to wait for the snow to pick up. All right. Over here. Hello. Hello. Hi. Thanks. Come on over here. Come on over here. Come on. Come on. There we go. All right. All right. Over here. Over here. Over here. All right. Snow's starting to pick up. You can't really see it too well in the shot, but it is starting to pick up. So I think I want to overexpose this a little bit to keep those highlights nice and high. So I'm at f11 1/10 of a second. So now I got to do a little bit of math. So I think I'm going to be using probably 4 stops of neutral density here, and it's really coming down. I better get my neutral density filters on. So at 4 stops of neutral density, I can still see through the viewfinder to compose and focus. And we just finished an exposure. Let's see how it looks. Whoa. Why is that so way overexposed? Probably because I have a shitty neutral density filter. Don't buy Neewer neutral density filters. It says ND8 right on it. Let's back that down. So like a dumbass, I purchased Neewer neutral density filters. A 2, a 4, and an 8. With a 2, a 4, and an 8 stacked together, there's no way I should still be able to see through that viewfinder, yet I can. So, by quality, you only have to cry once. I buy some Nisi, buy some Profoto, buy high quality neutral density filters. I have some high quality neutral density filters, but I don't have any that would fit this lens. So I'm just going to roll with it. I'm just farting around with different exposure levels. But anyway, I'm going to keep at it and I'll show you what I got. I think the battery in my gimbal is dying. Yep. Battery's dying. All right. Battery in the gimbal is dead. Guess that means we've been out here for a little while.
Buy quality, and you only have to cry once. I purchased some shoddy neutral density filters, knowing full well that I should not. Actually, the neutral density filters came with this pack of crap I got off of Amazon. So I do have good neutral density filters. I just didn't have any for the lens that I was using yesterday. These are the Neewer neutral density filters. There is a 2, a 4, and an 8 right here stacked together, and I can still see through these damn things. I absolutely should not be able to see through these, yet I can. So that was part of my hurdle yesterday. The other part was I blew off my own rule about putting focus on the process instead of the product, because I had this idea in my head and I was chasing that idea rather than, hey, this is a great environment, let's go see what we can get. And I ended up frustrating myself, and when I came back and looked at my pictures from yesterday, I hated them. I was so upset at the amount of time that I spent out there and that I didn't get what I wanted. I was just frustrated. So it ended up being that I put it off coming back to the editing the video for today, and now here I am so late in the day that I can't use the window light that I typically use to light my videos. I'm using the modeling lamp of one of my strobes. I'm sure you can hear the fan. Can you hear that? Which is actually a very warm tone. I've got this turned down to 2900 Kelvin, which really makes that LED light I got back there really blue. So I kind of like that. I might do this more often if I can find a light that doesn't have such a noisy ass fan. These are almost 20-year-old strobes. Anyway, I digress. I'm running off on tangents. I do love a good tangent. But I came back to the photos this morning, and what I hated yesterday, I didn't hate so much today. I wasn't over the moon in love with it, but after I got out of my own head and put away the imposter syndrome that I was feeling yesterday afternoon, I don't mind it. It's absolutely not my next portfolio shot, but it's not precisely the image that I had in my head. So I'll go back and I'll keep working the process the next time I go out to shoot this sort of thing. But I don't hate it. Yesterday, I wanted to throw away my cameras. I was so angry with myself, but I get that's the takeaway. Not every day is going to produce bangers. When you get frustrated with yourself, step outside of yourself, take a breather, and you come back at it. Not every day is going to be a great day. But as it turns out, this day didn't suck so bad. So these are the last two shots of the day. They are both f11 and they are both half of a second. But the one on the left has this soft focus, dreamy feel to it. And that's primarily because, well, it's not primarily, it's only because there was water on the filter. I ended up selecting this one just because it had a little more contrast. I ended up cropping way into it, taking it to a 16:9 aspect ratio. I would not have been able to do this with my 7D. I was really only able to get away with this because I had a higher megapixel count.
But yeah, it doesn't suck. And then this was the last shot of the day. This was an illustration of how shoddy those Neewer filters are. There's 3 neutral density filters stacked on top of one another, and I was still able to hand hold this photograph. The vignetting you see on the outside there is because it was all the way back to 28 millimeters, and you could actually see the filters stacked on top of one another. Um, it almost looks like it was shot with a Holga, so it really ended up being my favorite shot of the day. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.